Hello and welcome to another spiritual learning video. Today we're doing the Paranormal Toolbox number 3 and we'll be going over the Rem Pod. What is it and how does it work? The Rem Pod has an EM radiating antenna that detects energy disturbances and fluctuations using multicolored lights and an audible alarm. REM stands for Radiating Electromagneticity. It is basically an electric field detector like static. It has been designed to emit an electromagnetic field, or to make it simpler, a bubble surrounding the device that can be broken by anything that has its own EM field. EM, or electromagnetic field, is a property of space caused by the motion of an electric charge. Basically, a combination of invisible electric and magnetic fields of force. To manually set off a Rem pod, you have to get very close to the antenna or actually touch it, which breaks the EM field or bubble around it. Walking nearby or waving a hand around at even a short distance doesn't set it off, but a mobile phone or walkie-talkie will set the Rem pod off if it's too close. It's a favorite among paranormal enthusiasts because of its visual and audio elements. It can be used in a totally different area to investigate because it alerts you with the audio when it's being set off. So you can be in a totally different part of the building investigating. The device can come in many disguises, but the original Rem pod is a distinct red and black casing, and it has 5 LED sticks with an ambient temperature range, which can also detect a fluctuation of temperature, plus or minus 50 degrees Celsius. Many paranormal investigators have begun making their own Rem pod, which are basic versions of the original. They're generally smaller in a black casing with only 1 to 3 LED lights. Also available are trigger objects with built-in Rem pods made by specialists. These are including teddy bears and dolls. Now I know what your next question's gonna be. What's the difference between a Rem pod and an EMF meter? Well, an EMF meter detects electromagnetic fields, while Rem technology basically detects anything with capacitance that pass in or out of its electromagnetic field bubble it made around itself. EMF meters were designed to detect wiring inside walls, so they can detect about 50 to 60 hertz. For example, if I took my EMF meter and put it next to a live wire with current running through it, the EMF meter would go off. However, if I took a copper wire that had no electrical current through it, but is a natural conductor and does have capacitance flowing through it, the EMF meter would not go off. If I would put my EMF meter next to a plasma ball, which radiates its own electrical magnetic field, it will not go off because it is under the 60 hertz. Humans have electricity flowing through their body. Rem technology will pick that up as a capacitant if you're too close to it. However, your EMF meter will not. So, in a nutshell, the EMF meter looks to detect current, while the Rem technology looks for capacitance. If my EMF meter can't detect me, can it detect spirits? It's 50-50 on that. However, they can manipulate it for yes or no questions. So, it is worth having in your toolbox, especially with the $12 to $18 price tag. The Rem Pod's creator, Gary Galaka, started creating these devices after he tragically lost his oldest daughter, Melissa, in a fatal car crash in 2004. Several days later, the family returned home from the hospital and immediately began reporting odd experiences, which the family believed was Melissa attempting to communicate with them. Gary stated Melissa started to do things like ringing the doorbell, changing TV channels, turning on and off lights. Then one time, she even came into his bedroom and he felt her sit at the edge of the bed. Gary was inspired by these personal experiences and created devices that he believed allowed him and others to communicate with spirits. Now, the next question, does the Rem Pod work? Well, the same as the EMF. They work for what they were intended to work for. Do they pick up spirit energy? That's all up to us to prove as paranormal investigators. Thank you so much for joining us on another spiritual learning video. To see more, please check out the spiritual learning playlist. If you're not subscribed, consider subscribing. Hit the thumbs up and share. We'd greatly appreciate it. We'll see you on the next one.